Hi, my name is Luisa and I am a featured woman for the July 2024 issue of the Bold Maven magazine. I craft unforgettable travel experiences for families, singles, or anyone really that wants to make their dreams come true. And I'd like to think that I help with this process by making sure that all the bases are covered, that maybe something that someone hasn't thought about is met. I fill in the details to make sure that travel is as smooth as possible, as carefree, stress-free, so that my clients are able to focus on what is important, which is experiencing that which makes their heart just sing. I attended McAllister College in St. Paul, Minnesota. Funny enough, I attended that school because it has a very strong study abroad program, which I actually never participated in because I was too busy finishing up my classes. I took a lot of courses in different areas. I majored in media and cultural studies, as well as sociology, with a minor in psychology and a concentration in community and global health. So while a lot of those don't necessarily directly relate to travel, I think that my school definitely gave me a worldview, and I was able to meet lots of people from different places, and that certainly helped my curiosity in wanting to visit many, many places and immerse myself in cultures and eat food and listen to different music and just listen to different perspectives. Well, I consider myself to be a pretty great researcher, and because of this, I was already making sure that travel plans between my friends and my family members were seamless. I have a really big passion for finding the gems, looking for unexpected activities, things that people may have not thought of doing. And I really like to be able to experience those things that I've never experienced before. So I was already doing that. And while planning my mom's 60th birthday to New Orleans, because she didn't really know what else there was besides going to Bourbon Street in New Orleans, I wanted to take her beyond that which she thought she knew and peel back the layers of the different things that you could do in New Orleans, as an example. So we ended up doing a tour on a plantation because she was very much obsessed with Gone with the Wind when she was much younger, and she just loved the costumes and the sets. So New Orleans is definitely a place where you can do all that. And we also went on a bayou tour, as well as have dinner on a steamboat on the Mississippi River for her birthday. We ate a lot of delicious food, and I made sure that we were getting all the great deals and going to all these places that didn't necessarily have anything to do with Bourbon Street. So because I had already been doing those type of things for family and friends, I thought that I should get paid for it because I am very passionate about it. So when I decided to start my own agency, I looked at the many different options that I could do that. I started thinking about what I wanted my agency to specialize in and what sort of experiences I wanted to bring people. So I came up with the name Ascend Voyages because I wanted to help heighten or ascend or pique their interest in these destinations. I wanted to evoke taking their breath away, that feeling of joy and happiness and absolute awe that you get when you're just amazed by where you are and the experiences that you are currently in. In Voyages, I wanted to allude to the fact that travel is a journey, it's a voyage. It can be as simple as going on a weekend to eat at a restaurant and eat delicious food and drink delicious drinks, or it can be an adventure where you do many activities of hiking or looking at the places that hold so much history and inserting yourself in that history and that story, as well as have this movie-like experience with everything thought out for you. Essentially, I just wanted to make sure that people knew that my goal was to lift them up in the way of travel. I started my agency in August of 2022, the same year that I planned my mother's 60th birthday to New Orleans in May of 2022. If you don't want to go too far, going to an all-inclusive in Mexico is a great place to start. It might be a very familiar country, but different enough, of course, with a different language, that it may be a good place to start. All-inclusives are very safe. They have people that can suggest excursions. And of course, you can always ask your travel advisor, myself, what places of interest would be good and safe to start. You could also go to popular tourist destinations like the Dominican as well, or even Puerto Rico is a good US territory where it is a different culture, but familiar enough where you won't feel too overwhelmed by the culture shock. If you do want to hit many places at once, or be in the comfort of your own space with people that are very similar in culture, a cruise might be right for you. You get off and get on at different ports of call, so different towns, cities that are very welcoming to tourists. And the cruises themselves also have excursions where they take you and you don't have to think much about it. It all really depends on what you like to do, if you're comfortable sailing on a boat, or if you're comfortable being in an all-inclusive where you don't have to think about cooking, just experiencing different food and being on the beach. If that sounds nice, I would definitely suggest starting with one of those. I love spending time with my family. So we actually go on little adventures ourselves, and I am a really big foodie. My daughters are learning to eat great food and find new experiences from very, very little. I do love reading, and I do love a great movie. I love singing and spending time with friends, and I also dabble in poetry, and I am an amateur writer. To continue this conversation, you can read my story on theboldmaven.com. Make sure to subscribe to the Bold Maven newsletter to gain access to the digital magazine.